I'm Brian Posehn. You may know me from my stand-up comedy or from the TV shows I've been on, like the Sarah Silverman program. I love comic books, metal, and anything nerdy, except furries. They're gross. But that does include Dungeons & Dragons, which I've been playing with the same group of my funny friends for a decade now. So we decided to record us playing the game and turn it into a podcast, and we call it
Nerd Poker. Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends.
Blaine! Ken!
Sarah!
Sark. Don't forget Gerry.
Hey, I'm Brian Posehn, and you're listening to Nerd Poker, Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends. We got one of our friends back. Yay.
And we lost another one.
Sarah's here. Blaine doesn't know that it's Tuesday, I think.
Blaine's MIA,
or whatever day we record this.
He's a mysterious guy.
Yeah. He doesn't quite get the internets.
No. I'm pretty sure all the clocks in his house are like old-timey.
Maybe we should like handwrite
send him a telegram.
Handwrite invitations.
Yeah.
What was telegram?
But if you want like a Ruth Buzzy reference or something else that you won't get to understand, Blaine's the guy. But if you want him to show up on time,
Mikhail's Navy jokes.
Who am I to talk shit? God, I'm late to every fucking thing. So we don't have an official donor this week, but we have a bunch of friends that have approached Gerry and I over the last couple of weeks. So I have some things to get through real quick. I forgot one of these. This is from when I was in Austin about a month ago. A guy, Steve Maggi, looks like he's played a couple different characters. Impavitus Gold. Oh, no. That's one guy. Impavitus Goldfrapp the Righteous. And John Prezi plays Lothosian. Anyway, they gave us $100 and a note to Sark.
Sweet.
Dear Sark, thanks for all your inspiration. As a fellow DM of 30-plus years, your improvisational abilities got me to run a game again with confidence since I had an ugly ending with my last campaign. I'd love to hear about ugly endings. Those are my favorite kind of endings.
Friends killing friends in real life, and then parents being all bummed about it.
Yeah.
Gotta love 90s Dungeons & Dragons.
So thanks, guys, Steve and John.
Glad to hear you're fueled by the devil again.
Thanks for the cash. We got a box. Oh my God.
We did.
And Sark rated the box. Well, we all rated it. But Sark's wearing a robe.
I've never seen that much purple crushed velvet in my life.
So we got, there's a note here. Dear Nerd Pokerers, my wife and I wanted to say thanks for all the funny and awesome podcasts by sending you these handmade dice bags and a cape for Sark. My wife made them with love and sarcasm. We felt like Sark's cape could have two uses, rave assassinations and shitty DMing.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
In a black light, I'm going to shine like a fucking angel.
It's got his logo on it and everything. I didn't know you had a logo, but that's fucking cool.
Yeah, sarcasm.
Look inside your dice bags, keep forgetting to heal, and continue to not follow Mildred's good advice. Hilarious. We love you all. Clay and Tina Carver, Eureka, California.
Thank you.
Holy crap. That was an epic
guys.
box. Thanks, Clay and Tina.
In addition to the cash, we contribute to Earwolf Monthly. You guys are the best.
Cool.
So Tina does this stuff professionally. Quilterina Tina. Quilterinatina at gmail.com. She's does quilting. It's fucking awesome. And they made these dice bags.
Yeah.
They look like Crown Royal bags. Are they
lovely purple.
Reconstituted? No,
I think
guess
these are
not.
made from scratch.
Yeah, I think they are. They are made from
they're
scratch.
They're lined and everything.
Yeah, very nice.
Quilterina Tina is not going to fuck around with some recycled crown bag.
Her husband might pull the...
That was my favorite
crown bags.
My favorite Beatles song, Quilterina Tina.
Quilterina Tina.
I'm wearing the robe for the entire duration of this episode, Tina.
Mine even had cash in it, so 20 from them.
Oh, nice.
And said, you rock. Thanks. Don't spend it all at Hot Topic. I wish I could. Hot Topic's not what it used to be.
It is if you like Adventure Time and Harry Potter.
Yeah, but you can't go in and come out looking like the Crow anymore.
Yeah, that's what Halloween Town is for.
Yeah. And then Gerry gave me this. Gerry was in Kansas City at a convention and got a card for Sir Richard. It's a sympathy card.
Oh, boy.
I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams pass before my eyes, a curiosity. Dust in the wind. Oh, I can't sing. All they are is dust in the wind. Same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do, they just wrote all the lyrics. All we do crumbles to the ground.
The last word is different.
To see. My condolences for your loss, Sir Richard. You will be missed. Love, Steve Kelly. And he threw some cash in here. And then we've got cash from Josh Willis in KC, David Vandiver in KC, Chris Huffman, Andrew Talla, and then the Steve Kelly money.
Right on.
Thanks,
Nice.
you guys.
Thank you
and
all.
then one or two more things.
A stack of heavily
Yeah,
sharpied
it's
cash
fucking
going
crazy.
back into
Each
circulation.
week, it's getting harder and harder to get through all this stuff. Terry Nye, while I was in Hawaii, came to my show and gave me a check to Earwolf for $100.
Nice.
Thanks, Terry.
I know.
And then this is to Damien, celebrating your transformation. And it's of us all becoming rats, and we'll have to take pictures of this because they did a cool thing, and it's actually for all of us. So there's a picture of what Sark looks like to them, and then there's different rats, and mine's cool. Barth, I would be offended. Your rat is kind of a bummer. Blackie's is adorable, as is Mildred's.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Little rat
Let's see,
portraits.
Yeah. Seamus, thanks for making Wednesdays the best day of the week, Seamus. And he threw in some cash too.
Right on.
You guys are so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Let me see my
Thanks,
terrible
Seamus.
picture.
Oh, you gotta look. Yeah. And then
I like that.
one last thing. And then we'll
It's a
actually
green,
play a
weird dragon rat.
Oh, you do look ill.
game. Okay.
Oh,
No,
I have a
that was
tutu
it.
on.
What do I look like? Oh, I look like a... Wow, look at that. I look badass.
Yeah.
Not as badass as I look in my crushed
Seriously,
purple
I can't.
velvet
I just feel like
Crown
I'm just
Royal
gonna be
robe.
staring at you the entire time, so don't take it the wrong way. But it's just like the robe
It's
is
pretty
just
amazing.
ridiculous.
It's like when Blaine used to wear the elf ears.
I want to really get like emo though, like no eye contact. There we go.
So we're not sure if Blaine's going to make it, but we'll just jump in. What happened last week?
Yeah, so
Bunch of shit. Did you get to listen?
I did. I listened to the
cool.
most recent. So
Cool.
you got a lot of love at PAX too. By the way, I spent the weekend at PAX, and people were asking about you and excited for you to
back.
come back. So
I did it.
you guys had sort of fast tracked through the mountains. We did a little minecart. Minecart roller coaster, courtesy of the.
Oh, wait, we forgot about Gerry. He's still dead.
Jerry's dead.
Jerry's still dead.
Well, hopefully Jerry's not dead, but
No.
Sir Richard
No, I
is
talked to
definitely
him.
dead.
Jerry's not dead.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Jeez,
But
I hadn't heard from
the
him.
guy-
Will be
played.
one day.
Yeah, not today.
If the players in my campaign start dying when their characters do, that's going to be real
crazy.
scary. That should have been what Mazes and Monsters was about.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, if we were using your Pathfinder book that you found,
oh no, top secret.
top secret.
Satan's
yeah,
top
yeah.
secret.
That can be
book.
Final Destination 17.
Yeah. I still remember you told me your advice to me was bury it.
Oh, yeah.
You were like,
No,
you
that
weren't
shit
amused
is
by
no
the story
joke.
at all. You were
No,
like,
no.
bury it.
When I hear about stuff like that, it's such a coincidence. Yeah, that's the first act of most horror movies. That's how it starts.
Yeah. I still have it. Every now and then I hear faint whispers coming from the
Oh,
bookshelf.
God.
No, you guys had mounted a rat defensive, offensive actually. You'd turned the tables on the rat men under the mountain, and you had killed their leader, their shaman leader, and in hopes of removing the curse that had transformed you guys into rats, which did end up working. For the most part, that also cured the dwarves that had been cursed. A lot of them died when they converted back to being a dwarf, but hadn't exited their rat holes, so just the walls gouted chunks of
And
dwarf.
whose fault really was that? If you had what happened there?
You know what? It was.
I heard about the explosion of flesh, and I was
it
just
wasn't
curious,
anybody's fault really.
They knew we were going to stop the guy.
They couldn't. Yeah, it was just tricky communication.
But some
There
of
was
them
no
got out,
walkie-talkies.
right?
Yeah,
Sorry,
a
I only
lot of
listened. I only heard part of that, so I wanted to. Did some of them escaped and?
Yeah,
fine?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was most of them escaped.
Most of them
Some
escaped.
of them popped in the walls.
I think only 3 or 4 died, right?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
there's a lot more. There's a lot more juice than that. But what happened? Essentially, it was like a catch-22 for them. They couldn't leave the rat holes because
Right.
then they wouldn't have any cover. So it was sort of like a guessing game on
okay, yeah.
leaving safety to transform.
Did
and,
any get like half crushed and half?
you could.
stuck in the
I
wall?
mean. Well, I guess I could just tell you, but yeah, that happened. There's a
'cause
few.
we're away
You found
on
and
that,
you found a few well, you didn't find it, but there was found limbs and bits of scalp.
That's gross.
Yeah, a lot of it was like they basically decompressed, so it wasn't. It was just coming through tiny filament-sized cracks in the walls. It was disgusting. It was terrible. Terrible way to go.
Play-Doh.
But you guys did succeed in that, and you heavily looted that guy's chamber. So Mildred has, let's see, it's probably, well, let me see. It's probably not written down anywhere except on my paper. So you guys got piles of
Yeah, I heard about some cool stuff.
gear.
Oh yeah.
And I think you might have to divvy some of it out to Mildred.
Yeah,
actually.
I didn't hear anybody
'Cause-
give me anything, but maybe I missed like
Yeah, I know.
Pieces of that.
Mildred was really safe because I'm shitty at
'Cause
like
you forgot.
NPCs. So
She just
yeah,
popped back into
It's
existence.
like as long as I'm a shitty DM, it's really if you're not here, it's the safest you can be. No, but you guys did escape. You were transformed back into your original forms, and the dwarves showed you sort of a shortcut through the mountains. Presumably the shortcut that the original dwarves sort of promised you. And I think we left off. You had exited the mines and were looking down over the valley at the beautiful, and from here it looks like bustling town of Glinishmore. You see ships, with sails full of wind moving in and out of port. It's a little too far to see any individual people, but it looks like the city is alive-ish. It's a little unsettling because you guys have run into, you know that they could be
clones.
Yeah, they could. There's the possibility that they could be taken over by the sorcerer at any moment. But that's where we left off, and I'm not sure. I guess before you head down, I would want to find out what the approach is going to be. You've got probably several hours journey to get there, but
Well, what was the original goal here? It was really Sir Richard's desire to see and save his homeland
Yeah, we're also trying to find the old
and to battle
Dick.
the old Dick.
yeah. And then you also had the. I guess that's the final goal, and the intermediate goal was use tap the local resources to try and find crystals to
Right.
repair the ship, which hopefully would facilitate being able to find the sorcerer, or the necromancer. So, but you obviously have to use caution as you approach this
Do we?
town.
Do
You
we,
don't-
though?
Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. You don't have to do anything.
Why Mildred?
Doesn't sound like us. Is all I'm saying.
That's true. Yeah. You guys would get into Jerry
Just
would get
running
into
down
a
screaming
giant
and asking.
inflatable hamster ball and just roll right down into town cheering.
So who are we looking for first?
Mainly
think?
the old anybody who knows where the old dude might be.
Right.
Jerry had sort of
Crystals.
well, not Jerry.
Who do we get crystals from?
I thought the dwarves back in the mountain were going to give us crystals.
Yeah.
They were looking, and Jerry was saying that because Glinishmore is heavily fortified, there was the possibility. Sir Richard said this, that there's the possibility of them having been able to resist
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess there may be some recon involved looking into the status of the Glinishmorians. But
Okay.
for now, I guess you can move down the hill, or you could wait until night. I don't know. It'd be up to you guys if there's any particulars you wanted to follow.
Let's get into it.
Let's just head in.
That's what I like. Fortune favors.
Are we
the
all
bold.
fully healed up?
Oh yeah, we should do that.
That would.
I think we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are good.
Okay.
And I
checking.
believe
We also leveled
you're
up.
all.
we leveled up.
Memorized up. Yeah. Oh, we didn't level up Mildred yet, did we?
No, man.
Now that she's popped back into existence, we should level her up
We can do it on a.
on a break.
break,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll do it on a break. All right, so you guys, with your small dwarf entourage, that's small in numbers. That's not a slight on their height. Move down the
they're
hill
small.
towards. They are, yeah. They're short. I don't know if they're small.
I got no reason.
Moving down the hill, you guys just double time it for Glinishmore. And it's a beautiful day. You popped out from underground at, say, it's like probably 11 a.m. Just beautiful blue, cloudless blue sky. The field between just is almost uninterrupted between here and Glinishmore. It's going to be like a real easy hike. It's just like gorgeous. You guys walk for a couple hours, and then the beautiful day is marred slightly, and you see it for several minutes before you actually hear it. But Blackie initially calls your attention to it. He points up at the sky, and you see there's like a tiny star. You see like a little star visible, and this is like 1 p.m. So it's like the sun is blazing here. And you see the little speck, and as you guys are walking, it starts to get slightly brighter over 15, 20 minutes. It's actually glittering. And then you start to notice, again, Blackie with his astronomy and his sharp elf eyes. He's like, that's not a star. It looks like it's moving. And another hour goes by, and you can actually sort of visibly measure that it has traveled slightly down, like it's sinking and getting brighter. You guys continue to walk.
Any of us have any ideas on what it is?
Blackie ominously and is always assuming it's the worst. Suggests that he's like, this could be a ship.
Right. One of the giant ships that descended on the gas planet.
Yeah,
Well, good.
a collector ship.
Let's continue. I mean, we can warn them.
Okay, so you guys.
King shitbags in that thing. So the bad guy. Who's our final
King
boss?
shitbag.
Yeah,
King shitbag.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down actually. King shitbag. Another couple hours. The mountains are sort of starting to not loom as ominously behind you. They're dwindling into the background. And have any of you guys played Titanfall yet?
Not yet.
No. All right. So the sound for you listeners that have, there's a sound similar to when you call in your Titan, but for now we'll say like when you launch a space shuttle or like when the space shuttle launches and there's that sort of, it's like an explosion that's coughing, kind of like popping. It's like you hear that sound, and you actually are tracking the star now as it sinks, and you start to see that it is actually something really bright, like a little glimmering, shimmering point, and there is an object on top of it that seems to be sort of riding that gleam down, and you start to hear that sort of coughing, popping explosion, and Blackie mutters under his breath. He's like, "It's a ship. It's a ship. It's landing."
Has Blackie checked in with Stargirl lately? Maybe he should.
Yeah, we'll say that he's doing like his hourly blips. Mildred Blackie's been pinging Stargoyle and getting faint responses, but not able to tell distance or condition. So he's not sure where he is. But after the big explosion, there's evidence that Stargoyle's still somehow around.
That's good.
But he's not getting any more responses right now.
Okay.
As you guys watch and approach over the course of the day, the ship, you can see this ship eventually come to almost a halt. And from this distance, it's hard to tell. Blackie suggests that it doesn't look like a dreadnought or one of the big like battleships. He says that looks like it could be
The tower?
the lifeboat that what was it? King Shitbag?
Shitface?
King Shitbag.
King
Old Dick.
Shitbag
Fuckfoot.
escaped it. Fuckfoot, Lord Fuckfoot. And it comes down, and from here you've covered maybe a third of the distance to Glinishmore, and from here you can see that the ship sort of nestles down and deposits itself like right in the middle of town and just disappears from sight. You can see like a little poof of dust and smoke, and it looks like it just gently landed somewhere right in the middle of the city.
Do I see a page in the book that looks like Glinishmore? Did I give that book to Blackie, or did I
Who's
keep
carrying that book?
the
I
atlas?
have it with. Let's see. I have that written down next to Blackie's name.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I would say he would look in that book and think himself there in the picture.
Okay, so Blackie thumbs through the There's a book filled with panels of you heard that pictures of different locations. Thumbing through it, and it's you guys just continue walking as you go because it's a big book and there's tons of pictures and some of them are, I mean, these are from all over, the galaxy, possibly further. And Blackie is looking specifically for a picture of Glinishmore. He thumbs through it though, and eventually he sort of gets impatient just as you guys are walking. And the thought occurs to him that maybe it's chronological. So he flips clear to the back, skipping a bunch. And the last page, the last several pages are blank, but the last illustrated page is almost like it's drawn from the mountains where you exited. Like it's the hills and the city and the sea, almost the exact same perspective. So there is a picture there. That he could, try and mentally
Transport all of us?
Focus on the city.
Should we hold hands?
I don't know.
You're not sure how it works.
Well, we might as well try, right?
But is that a place we just came from?
No, it's a picture of the place you're headed. It just looks like it was drawn sort of from the same.
I might just pop a few feet ahead or behind.
Or right in the center of town.
Or right in the center of town.
Accentuate the
next
positive.
to Dick Fuck's
Lord
landed ship.
Fuckfoot. Dick.
Lord Fuckfoot ship fat.
So Blackie looks around at you guys. He's like, "Do you want to? Are we trying this?"
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to kill Dr. Fat Cunt.
Now, I would just like to say that if Blaine were here, he would totally not do this. He would
Then
totally
he
not
won't do it.
Yeah, but Blackie should do it.
Why do you think
We're
why wouldn't
driving.
he
We're
do it?
driving Blackie now.
Right.
Because Blackie is the one.
If he has knowledge, then he wouldn't do it.
Actually, no. You know what? I take that back. I was going to say because if it does only take one person, Blaine would be reticent to
Be separated.
pop into the city alone.
Right.
But then again, Blaine has done some pretty insane things with Blackie, and he might just try. and
Yeah,
read
he
this
just
book.
went off. Remember in that elevator?
Yeah,
He's
because he
killing-
might recon and
Never
then,
forget.
and then sit tight or take us all with him.
Yep, I take it back. He would totally do this.
Let's all touch parts of his
let's
body.
rock.
I'm going to touch his shoulder.
Okay. He likes your suggestion though, Mildred,
That we hold hands.
of like making He's like, hopefully I don't end up going by myself. If I do, he says if he does, maybe we'll have him cast invisibility first in case he goes alone. So if he pops in, he's invisible.
Okay.
And then he says, if I do end up there alone, I will use flight, and I'll just try and double back to you guys as quickly as I can and let you know.
Okay.
As long as there's nothing I can do by myself. If I can, I'll do what I can.
If not, he can just meet us in front of Tomorrowland.
Right. Yeah. The meetup spot. Blackie would be awesome at raves. He's got so many cool effects. Brian woke up just to shake his head at me and just hate me for a second. All right, so you guys circle up with your dwarven pals, and you're all making some type of bodily contact. And Blackie, there's no there's no text or anything on the pages, so he's just sort of concentrating on it like he would as if you were casting a spell. And from your guys' perspective, he just looks like he's staring at the book, but he sort of starts to he feels like he is sort of falling into this picture. And the edges of the frame of the picture as he stares at it start to sort of like if you stare at a certain point, your peripheral vision starts to get a little hazy, and the slightest eye movement starts to cause weird trails and glowing, and pretty soon it's like he's not he's not looking at the page anymore. It's like he's in the town. You guys are sort of hypnotized watching him do this. It's sort of like his eyes are widening, and it's sort of concerning. And he starts to sweat, and his hands start to shake with the book. And, his torso starts to quiver. And it looks like it looks like he might explode or something. Like he's...
Ejaculate.
Yeah, and he's just you guys are just standing out in the field, and he's starting to like spasm with the book. You're not sure if he can put it down. So I don't know if you want to let it play out or.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't want us to stop him for this, would he?
He's gonna be trapped in the book.
If blood comes out of his ears, I'll slap it away from him.
Okay.
Well, seriously,
Blood
would he be
starts to
mad
come out
if
of
we like? This looks really bad. This doesn't look like a normal magic concentration kind of thing.
No. Well, yeah. This looks. You've never seen anything like this before. There's some powerful hoodoo
I don't want to
happening.
kill him.
Let's break real quick.
All right.
And we're back.
All right. So Blaine is spasming uncontrollably. You think to yourself, if blood starts coming out of his ears, I'm going to intervene.
Yes.
Are we feeling anything through him?
No. You do see like a little glimmer of blood start to come out of his ear nearest you, though.
I slap it away from him.
All right. So the book falls out of his hands. He immediately, like his eyes roll back into their appropriate position. His body, he sort of gasps out some breath.
What happened, dude?
He's like, what? He's like, where are we? He's like, what happened? Did anything happen? And then he stops and he stares past you guys, just transfixed, like his eyes wide.
No.
And looking over your shoulder, you see the grass, everything same. It's everything's the same, air temperature, everything. But a couple 100 yards behind you is a road, and there's a cart on it. And just past that is like a giant white wall, and the town of Glinishmore sort of like looming right there.
Oh.
So at some point while he was staring into this picture, and you guys had been must have been sort of magically distracted. A blink had taken place.
Wow.
Weird. So we're inside.
You had no sensation of movement or popping into being at a new location. They're at the cart, though.
Guess it worked, and I saved you. You're welcome.
He picks the book up, and he comments. He's like, "Well, that's pretty intense. That's a pretty intense way to travel."
Shit.
The page in the book, though, there's the picture now has like the frame now has an extra line around it. There's like a second line, sort of possibly marking a use. Maybe there's a limit on the uses, or maybe that's just a way to track how many times a place in the book has been traveled to. But Blaine gets a little Blackie gets a little gleam in his eye. Blaine would too. Flipping through the book and looking at all these bizarre worlds, and he's sort of like excited,
Planning his next vacation.
yeah, at relatively how easy it would be to hop between worlds. Behind you, you hear like the sort of muted, like the little crack of the reins, and the cart that has like it looks like a little farmer guy, lurches into motion. This guy seems to just have been stunned that, a dozen figures popped into being in the field just outside Glinishmore, and he's tentatively scooting along the road towards the gate, like he doesn't want anything to do. He's like, I'm just going to mind my own business.
Does he look at his bottle and throw it over his shoulder? Never again.
Yeah, so now you guys are standing just a really long stone's throw from the gates of Glinishmore. From here, you can hear the faint sound of the population of the city, and possibly a rowdy inn. Maybe you hear the sound of music.
Screams of agony?
Nope, nothing like that. It just sounds like city life. So,
Well, let's head in.
all right.
I don't roll up any spells or anything, but I pray to Judas to guide us into battle. I feel that time is short and that we're about to get into the shit, and I want his guidance.
On this prayer, you feel an intense warmth, almost uncomfortable, but
But
not
necklace, or
but not to the point that you had to like take it off from your amulet.
Okay.
And you guys see rippling out from Damien's feet in concentric rings, the grass sort of like blowing away from Damien. He looks like a Dragon Ball Z character.
God, I don't want this character to die. I love him. I just want to give him hugs and take him to Hot Topic and let him get whatever he wants.
Old Hot Topic, though.
Yeah, the old time.
Yeah. None of that Harry Potter bullshit for Damien.
Big Bang Theory, fucking bobblehead bullshit.
Minecraft.
All right,
Bazinga.
so Damien is as gleeful as Damien could be down inside because
gleeful's not the right word.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, I'm speaking to the listener then.
Okay.
Somebody, because now it's like this thing is like an immediate confirmation of prayer heard, sort of. Okay. Like there's no more, even the most devout person sometimes wonders, did Bahamut really hear my prayer? Damien's like, the amulet immediately heats up.
I love it. Okay.
The actual effect of it, you'll just have to see.
Yeah.
But it is sort of unknown at this point. So you guys you guys sort of cut across the grass, head for the road. Is there any, are you guys heading right into town?
Heading for where the ship landed.
All right. So then you should be prepared for the worst, because this could turn into like a little village of the damned like before. Yeah. Possibly. It may or may not. You're not sure what this...
They were reveling and drinking in the inn and stuff.
That's true. They weren't killing the men of the village and then burning the horses and
but we know
killing
that
the babies.
We know that he could take over potentially people at any time.
Right.
Yeah, they may not, at as long as he doesn't interfere, they would continue with life as usual. So
I don't like this guy.
all right, so you guys move along the road, move into the city. You actually pass the cart, which is being pulled by one just bow-backed mule, and the driver, he's looking straight ahead, like straight through the ears of the mule. And as you guys, his eyes dart to the side as you guys like walk up, but he seems super intimidated the way you guys popped into the field. So he's just like, I'm not gonna look at these. Just taking my donkey into the city. That's it. Just. But as you guys pass him and move in through the gates are open. The guards look at you, but not with any suspicion beyond what a gate guard would. You guys are sort of like ready to go at the drop of a hat, but you're actually you get a couple nods from some of the townsfolk.
How do?
A rowdy greeting from a drunk guy that stumbles out of a tavern. What have we here? And he lifts his glass up, spills it all, staggers back in for a refill. It seems like business as usual in town, which is a little unusual, though, partly because a spaceship riding a baby star just dropped down into the middle of the city somewhere, and no one seems to care. Yeah. But then again, no one is attacking you or killing their children in front of you, so that's a bonus. Yeah.
Take it.
Should we maybe try to talk to like the cart driver?
Oh, no.
No,
I don't know.
just to get a sense of what we're dealing.
He's afraid of us, I think.
Yeah. So even better.
Yeah, and you could actually. I mean, he saw you appear,
right?
So he may be a bad one to talk to. But now you're sort of right inside
Why
the
would
gates.
He be scared if he was under a spell?
That's what I'm saying.
Something?
Maybe he's better to talk to because he's already. If he's communicating with the old man, he's already done it because he saw us. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to like risk
right.
exposing ourselves further. And he's scared of us, so he may give us more information.
Okay. All right.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Let Charisma Boy talk to him.
Yeah.
Chat with
Yeah, whoever has the highest charisma.
Blackie Glenn.
who has the highest charisma?
I don't know.
in this
Blackie's
party?
is like it's 8 or 9,
somewhere
like
around. Yeah,
It's high.
million.
right?
Roll your D8 million right now for charisma check. Yeah, so you guys hook around. You don't block the road in an intimidating way. You just sort of wait a moment for him to catch up and then match his pace. And Blackie starts to spin his honeyed words. He's talking to the guy. Initially, the guy's very like, I don't want no trouble. I'm just going into town. I'm meeting my aunt. And Blackie's like, small talk. Where do you live? Do you live outside of town? Yeah, I live outside of town, blah, blah, blah. Once it's appropriate, Blackie sort of starts to ask him some of the questions that, could be considered a little more sensitive. And for that, I'm going to take this dice rolling castle we have and roll some charisma checks. So this is a D20. If he rolls a 19 or a 20... it's not good, but anything under that is under his charisma. That's fine. It's a 14. All right. So he's talking to the guy. He asks the guy, we can powwow here too at the table. What
Anything
questions
unusual?
are you guys looking to have answered, would you say?
Anything unusual happen in town lately?
All right. Anything unusual?
Anybody acting strange?
Strange behavior. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ask if he's familiar with Sir Richard's family.
Mm-hmm. So the Richard, Clan Richard.
Yeah, what is his? Do we know his last name?
Is Sir his first name?
Richard. Dick Richard.
Do you want to ask him about the craft?
Yeah.
Only if
did
it's
he notice the
just
craft?
saw? Yeah,
Did
did
he
you just
notice
notice that?
Okay. Okay. So, moving as comfortably as possible, And I'll roll a couple times as the conversation gets more pointed, but the basic anything unusual, and have you noticed any strange behavior? The guy seems to think that everything in the that happens inside the town is unusual, and it's the city folk are all they've all got a screw loose. But it seems to be like it's a typical sort of country bumpkin.
He's a racist
way of looking at the city folk. Yeah. So his answer yes is a no. So nothing out of the ordinary. But it gets a little weird when I rolled a 9. So good job on Blackie's charisma. It gets a little weird when asked. He's never heard of Clan Richard, or we'll just call it that. But when asked about the craft, he just he denies it immediately, and not in a disingenuous way. He seems to just, he says no. He's like, you sound like crazy city folk yourselves. I ain't never seen nothing like that. But this thing was like that
was a great Scottish
there's
accent.
no way he couldn't have seen it.
I can't. Yeah, there's no way he could have missed this.
Okay.
You guys heard it from the mountains, and it was like bright. So you don't believe that he's lying, but he seems to just not have noticed.
Okay.
Almost like it was blocked.
Disguised from him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's start killing everyone.
You said it. That's the old rules.
Yep.
How many people did Brian murder because he joked about murdering them? At least 3.
I stabbed him in the face, right?
Yeah. No, that's another thing. That is another Brian.
It's
Brian
a totally
would
different thing.
Brian would say an extreme action and then say, "Right?" And I'm like, "Well, you just did it. You can't say you're doing it and then ask."
But it wasn't always for you. That was to the gang. Like, right, guys?
Right.
But it's too late.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Also,
I draw my sword and stick it through his neck. Beat. Right? I'm like, well, in reality, you just stabbed him and then turned to everyone and said, right? In reality. What a dork.
this is reality.
This is our reality.
IRL.
All right, so you continue to move through the town. Do you, if there is targets of opportunity, do you want to ask a couple and just see if the general? I can roll a couple charisma checks and just see if along the way Blackie notices, trends like that. Sure. All right, so there's 1. That's a 16 and a 12. Okay, so a couple other people that seem approachable. You guys move up on without trying to seem threatening at all, which could be tricky considering the makeup of this party. But
crazy everything.
Blackie sort of breaks off from the group, and it's the same. Some of these people are citizens of the town, and they are warm and they welcome Blackie, to Glinishmore. One of them actually has heard of the of Clan Richard. They're they explain that they're a notable family and they live up closer to the center of town. They're honorable and under their breath they say, but they like the sauce. The Richards.
Boy, tell me about it.
Love the sauce. It's just they party hard. I'll tell you that. But universally, no one noticed that a new star descended in a column of fire and smoke into the center of town.
What the fuck?
You guys continue on then. At this point, it's probably, considering your shortcut, it's probably 3 in the afternoon. Still beautiful out, birds singing. As you get to the center of town, which is another chunk of wall, like not a keep, but and sort of an inner part of town where the wealthier live. There is another wall and another gate. It's also open though. There's guards there, but they seem to be pretty beyond just like cursory glances. They don't seem to be paying much attention to everybody. But from here, you can see the road sort of gently winds up between very medieval-looking streets with houses that lean over the, over the edges of the road. But just up there, you can see there's smoke, white smoke, sort of slightly billowing down at the end of the street. And every now and then, as like the breeze sort of brushes the smoke aside, you can actually see the edge of the ship up there. Just happened to line up through the street, but it's sitting up there. People are just walking up and down the street like nothing happened, though.
Weird. Let's take a quick second break.
All right.
And then we'll jump back in. And we're back in.
All right, so you're looking up the street. You can see the edge of the lifeboat, the necromancer's lifeboat from here. It's sitting, it looks like in the middle of a little square or something, right near the center of town. But everyone seems to be
maybe it was like a local
unaware of
camouflage that he cast on them. And
Yeah. Is there like a spell that can detect or undo whatever spell is being cast so that people that can
magic.
block it so that the townspeople could see?
Like a dispel or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, I have, since I am evil, I have a protection from evil and a detect evil thing. But since I am evil,
Yeah.
how does that work? Am I
dispel or
But I can see if there's any other magic in the air.
You have
right here.
detect evil though.
Well, it's no, I have protection.
Oh, okay. So that won't give you a heads up to. Actually, let me
Wouldn't
see.
it?
I don't
If
know
you
what
did
Blackie has
protection from evil on somebody,
Since
a
I'm
random-
evil,
Right, like
though,
a random person.
I wonder if that would work. When the spell protection from evil, when the spell is cast, it creates a magical barrier around the recipient at a distance of 1 foot. The barrier moves with the recipient and has 3 major effects. 1, all attacks made by evil, they get a subtraction. 2nd, any attempt to exercise mental control over the protected creature.
that's the
is
thing.
blocked.
That's the thing
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do on the guy.
yeah.
3rd, spell prevents bodily contact by creatures of an extraplanar or conjured nature. Aerial servants, elementals, invisible stalkers, stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, that would be an interesting experiment. Cast protection from evil on a civvy and tell him to go up the street and
Point at the ship.
Yeah.
go visit the.
I mean,
The
everyone's
Richard
just going to think
clan.
they've gone crazy, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll roll it up. and do
All right. So are you looking at it there? What's casting time?
it. 4.
okay.
Okay.
I was just going to say if there was like a town elder or mage or somebody, that might be the best person to cast it on.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean?
be an
Like some
ally?
powerful, like a powerful person who could
Can ask
help
around.
us.
Yeah, because this is a first level pre-spell. So once you cast this, you'll have to sit for 10 minutes and sort of pray to Judas so that you have it again to cast. So,
Okay.
I mean, for your first one, do you want to look for somebody?
Yeah, let's find a good target.
Shit, there's so many. Sometimes I wish I was playing. There's so many like fun. You could put it on a guard. That would be kind of funny. You could find some type of leader, or you were suggesting some
Yeah,
like
I
a
thought
magic user.
somebody who would be like in a powerful position who if they see it, because everyone else is just going to think they're crazy.
Someone who can do
So
something.
someone can help
convince
us.
others.
Yeah.
Okay,
Unless
so
I think that guy's crazy.
the best spot to find that person is right up probably near where the ship is parked, which is probably not a coincidence on the part of the landing
Right.
choice. But do you want to save it till you get
Yeah,
out
let's
closer?
save it.
Okay. All right, so now you start to move up the street with a little more caution. You don't have your hands on your swords, and you're not trying to draw any extra attention to yourselves. But now you almost subconsciously start to hug the side of the buildings. And as you move up, you can hear, start to hear the faint like hissing and the sound of the inner workings of the ship clunking, and it seems to just be sitting there. The doors, as you get closer, you see that it is actually in a sort of a circular cobblestoned area. it's completely obliterated what looks like it must have been a cistern or a well or something like that that's in the middle of the circle. It just like crushed down on top of it. People are walking their dogs, like finely tailored Glinishmorean nobles are just skirting around the ship as if it's a tower that's been there forever. But the ship just sits there.
Did the dogs notice anything?
No. Okay. So I have you now sort of at the end of one of the streets, and this seems to be a circle. It's not the dead center of town, but streets seem to intersect here, and so you're just standing at the end of one of these streets looking into the clearing at the ship. So you could try and skirt around and maybe get to the capital or something. You're not sure where that is exactly, but you assume if you keep on moving to the center of this area, you could...
Does the ship look destroyed, or does it look like it landed?
It landed, yeah, definitely.
Door open?
No, still just sitting there.
Detect evil, anybody?
No, that died with your resident
Blaine
paladin.
Blaine doesn't have that.
Let's just knock on the door.
You guys, so as you guys are staring at the rocket there, the
I would love to just blow the ship up.
That's what I'm saying. Just he opens the door and I just want to like sword in the head. Then the end.
one of the really ritzy Glinishmorean ladies. She's like walking a dog that can't be bigger than like one of your satchels, like a tiny little yipper, and she is cruising. It looks like she's heading from around. She just edged through the steam and vapors oozing out of the recently landed spaceship, as if it was not even there. And looks like she's heading down the street that you guys came up. But she sees you guys sort of not skulking, but loitering for a second and looking at the square. And she stops and she very nicely asks. She's like, "Can I help you, my fine people? What are you lost?"
Oh, we're just visiting town. We're looking for
The mayor?
Sure, you said it.
Yeah.
The mayor.
So the little dog's like just like yipping the whole time, and she's like, "Oh, the mayor."
See?
She's like, just
Ken.
scoot around the scoot around the well, and can continue straight on the way. And she like trails off, and like her mouth is sort of like stuck in mid word, and the dog goes and it stops, and his little tiny mouth is like wide open. And issuing out of its mouth, you hear this like super dark, low, almost like it's been modulated. This voice, and it just says, "Welcome to Glinishmore." Out of the teacup dog.
Oh, thanks, teacup dog.
You hear in the distance. You hear like faint. Ding, 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 clang, and you and then slightly more distant, and you know that the gates on the two walls you've gone through have dropped. Everyone that you can see, even the people out in the square, though, are just frozen. So they're just like, it's like Professor X in the museum. He's like mind locked or whatever. The dog is the one that seems to be talking, being communicated through. It seems terrified. Its little eyes are like looking around, but it continues to pant, and it says words. It goes, "Prepare to witness the most." How does he? Let me hold on. I wrote this down. Okay.
First he says, "Good evening, Los Angeles."
He goes, "Prepare to witness the most basic use of these souls." And the woman starts to cave in, like she's like she's imploding. And the dog, as it's also imploding next to her, almost like her skin is being crushed in an invisible hand, it just trails off one long word. It just says rejuvenation. And it crunches into a little ball of skin and fur and dust, and then he and his owner, which is now just a wad of skin and a dress, collapse down onto the ground. And then moving out, you see people, other people in the square starting to be they've been popped, and the air is draining out of them.
Can we get the door on the ship open?
Why does this guy have to be so gross? Yeah, I guess. I mean,
know,
what are
yeah.
we? Yeah,
He's
what
even in the
the hell
ship,
are we
I
gonna
mean.
do now? Go for the ship? Just try to put a. He seems pretty powerful.
Yeah. So you see, although you guys did put some, you'd put a dent in his mojo when you took out his soul factory. So he's
Yeah, we
not as
just sucked up
powerful
some
as
more
he once
souls.
was. In fact, he was in pretty bad shape. So assuming,
So now he's rejuvenating through
Yeah,
all
that's
these
what I'm
souls.
saying.
yeah, and you can see, and the almost like a leaking air out of a balloon. You can hear this woman sort of moan as she, and you can see this wisp, the familiar soul vapor. It
Where's
gets
it going?
sucked out, and it gets pulled around. It looks like it goes to the ship, but you can tell that it actually looks like it's going around behind the ship, so to a place somewhere
Let's go.
Good call.
out of your
Ken.
sight. Yeah.
Man, we need Stargirl too.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I have that evil ritual book that I acquired. I would guess that any downtime that I would have had between now and then, or between then and now, I would have eyeballed it.
Yep.
Have I seen anything about possession rituals or anything that would fit what he's doing? Because I'm evil, but he clearly is too. Would I be
No.
able to figure out what mojo?
So you in that book, no. That book had more of a focus on, as far as what you could tell so far, on transformations.
Okay.
But you didn't see anything in there. This looks like a different school of magic to you.
Okay.
But you're familiar with that. This looks
Okay.
more like a necromancy, and the book you have came from that sort of were-rat, and much more primitive.
Let's head around the bottom
Yeah,
of the
let's
ship.
go
Well,
and
what can I
attack.
do to help my party? I have protection from evil, and I have pass without trace. And is there anything I can do to kind of?
Protection from evil is going to be pretty clutch.
Yeah.
That sounded pretty killer. How long does that last? Because it takes 10 minutes to relearn it, but if
Can
it
it only
lasts...
cast on one or a group?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
a recipient.
So can't cast on my party.
And the duration is 3 rounds per level. Damien is now level 6.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad. That's 18 rounds. The problem is it takes 10 rounds to relearn, so you'd end up just struggling to keep people covered in it. So
Right. Okay.
it might be better to drop that, since it only takes 4 round segments to cast. It might be better to drop that when you detect an especially critical need, like someone's about to get
One of my friends.
stung
Okay,
real
cool.
hard.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if there's a way for you to, I don't know, if you guys end up needing to split the defense or charge ahead or whatever, you could.
Okay.
So we can head back to where the look of the soul went to.
I would like to.
Yeah, it's hard to see around the ship. There's it's like leaking steam and smoke and vapor, but you guys now you go into full combat mode. Blackie, I don't have his sheet with me, so I don't know. He learned a slew of new spells, so
Yeah.
I'll just wing it with him. But he gets ready to open a can of whoop ass. And you guys are weapons free now. There's no longer, people are deflating like human balloons, so there's no longer any need to really fly casual, as Han Solo would say. So you start to loop around the square, staying near the buildings. And as you go, circle the ship, coming into view on the other side, you see that there is a door and a gangway that's been dropped down, and it's sitting on its end. This looks like an old, it's collector tech, so it's bolted together, plates of metal and everything, but it's sitting like an old 50s style rocket on its back end.
We really did meet at Tomorrowland.
Yeah, you did. Circling around, you see at the end of the gangway, there's a framework and then a milky white crystal, not as big as the one you saw, but similar to what you saw near the thrones.
Attack that shit.
Yeah, we got it.
We don't have the.
There's conduits and stuff running up into the ship, and you can see sparks and wisps of spirits being pulled into it from all over the city.
So there's conduits from the crystal going into the ship?
Yeah.
And then, so we need to try to break all the conduits and destroy the crystal.
Possibly close the door, too, on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Crystal first. That's you're trying to sever connection from the crystal to the...
Well, does it look like if we go at the conduit?
Like you blast it with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's feeding... from here, the assumption... this is me trying to be a neutral party here. Mm-hmm. The assumption would be that he's inside the ship being fed or drinking up these souls.
But like, what
somehow.
looks easier to break? Like, if I go for the conduit, does that look like it might be, or like, is it like a tube?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that would probably be easier than going.
Okay.
You guys remember the crystal rejected you a few times, so. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go at the conduit.
All right, I'm passing you the dice tower.
Do I have to roll? It's just a conduit. It's a tube, right? What is its armor class?
Well, it's not so much to. Yeah. This is in case of entertaining botch.
I know that's what I don't like about it because. Okay, all right. So
first roll back.
Two-handed sword.
Yep. I don't want you to.
I didn't botch, but I almost did.
How almost?
2.
Oh, that's whoa!
I told you I didn't want to roll it.
That's as almost as you can almost.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yay!
So yeah, roll damage up on the. It just looks like like a.
Can I borrow 1d10 again?
Sorry. Like a corrugated, silvery, like an air conditioning style tube.
5.
Tube 5. Okay.
We're at an hour. What do you want to do, buddy?
We're attacking tubes. What could be more exciting?
Yeah. Do you want to do? Let's do one round, and then we'll call it.
Okay.
All right. Brian.
How did the tube react when I attacked it?
You put a noticeable ding in it, but you didn't like sever it or puncture it yet.
Okay.
But it gives you hope that you could actually do some damage to this thing.
Cool.
Hit it with a flame.
Okay.
I'll produce flame and then throw it at it.
Okay. And what's casting time on that? Let's see. It's got to be nearly immediate, right?
Second level.
Casting time 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then that'll go just at the beginning of 2, 3, 4, the next round. So you'll start to cast that.
Okay.
Barth.
I'll axe it. I mean, broadsword it.
I might not need this.
Yeah, not just yet. All right.
15.
That's not a botch. So roll your broadsword damage. 3. All right. You take a shot at the same spot Mildred did, moving in with seasoned warrior instincts. This time you take a tiny divot out of it, and like a spirits rush out of it, like almost like a ruptured steam pipe. Not a big gash, but just a little one, just a little hissing.
I loosened it.
Spirit leak. Reverberating like through the before Blackie takes his turn, reverberating through the square, you hear this voice. Now it seems to be coming from countless mouths. It says, "What are you doing, you fools?" And the ground shake. You hear a couple windows around the square go crack. And visibly the incoming spirit intake escalates, like he's trying to get as much done as possible.
Does Blackie have an attack?
Blackie, yeah. What would Blackie do? I don't know if he'd want to cast his spell. I think he would save his. I don't know. I think he would save his spell until he had a target and let you guys
chop.
And then he's just got a quarterstaff, so I don't think he could do much with it. So
Right.
I think he'll stand ready for now. And the round will conclude with the unseen enemies round.
Wait, what about all the dwarves that are with us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all those NPCs.
500 people chopping at
All
it.
right, hold on. Give me that tower.
Oh, thank goodness.
Let's see.
I'm so glad Mildred's back.
Shitty DM.
Police
I
is the shitty
fucking
DM.
hate NPCs so much. They're so dumb. It's the worst thing about them is how dumb they are.
It's funny because you're the one playing them. So
Oh shit! Why didn't you just go away again, Mildred?
I don't think you're a shitty DM. I'm the only one who defends you, so you should be nice to me.
I don't think he is either. It's just a funny joke.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I rolled no botches and 120. So
Oh, that shit's
in a
fucked.
like a heavily armed Oompa Loompa parade, you guys lead the charge, and your henchmen, in a whirl of hatchets and short swords, just gouge the hell out of that nearest conduit, leaving it eventually in two pieces, and the last few turns of the round just end up kicking the conduit so that it's not even, the ends aren't even aligned anymore. They're just trying to scoot it apart. Coming from the crystal, the souls are like now blasting out of the empty end of the conduit and just sort of dissipating.
Sorry, souls.
So then for the unseen enemies round, you hear another cry, and it says, "No, you don't know what you're doing." More debris, potted plants falling off of second-story windows. Now you can feel the ground starting to shake. But that's the end of this round, and probably the end of this episode.
Okay.
We'll pick up on the next
let's end
round.
it.
more fighting conduits. Next episode.
Thanks for listening. Let's see. I'm at C2E2. That'll be this weekend in Chicago. I'm doing a set with Kyle Cadane and Dan Telfer and my friend Jeremy Essig. Really funny show.
Nice.
8:30 Friday night at C2E2. All you need is a pass. If you can get on the convention floor, you can come see us for free. How fucking awesome is that? Free comedy after nerding out all day. And then come by and give us money for Nerd Poker. I don't even know why I say it, because people will do it.
Yep.
Write
Write your name on it, or Brad won't know who to
No,
shout
I
out.
always do. I always tell them to.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, I'm pretty good about that. Thanks for listening. Oh, Jerry and I, Deadpool issue 27, our big wedding issue, came out last week. Ooh. But go pick that up. Thanks.
This has been an Earwolf Media production. Executive producers Jeff Ulrich and Scott Ackerman. For more information, visit earwolf.com.
Earwolfradio.com